ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति सुपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता विशाखान्वितं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी शबानुसुदे देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी मुखं करोति वाचालं पंकुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं योऽन्ध प्रविश्य मम अचनमां प्रसूक्तां सञ्जीवयति अखिलशक्तिधरसुधाम्नाम् अन्यां च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्रणाम नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। जयदं सुरदो पंगोर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पादाम्बुजो राधामदनमोहनो तमादिदेवं करुणानिधानं तमालवर्णं सुहितावतारम् अपार संसार समुद्र सेतुं भजामहे भागवत स्वरूपं परमानंद पाठाय प्रेमवर्षीय क्षराय दे सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोस्तुमे। गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमः। हरे कृष्णा हरि ओम तत्सत। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, fourth chapter, 30th verse onwards.
Prabhuji, 28 to 33, I think we covered last class. 33.
Which one?
33. After 33, we covered in last class.
So 34 we should start.
Yes.
Sorry.
34.
So from 34 onwards. That means chapter 5 we are starting. So chapter 5 is Narada's instructions on Srimad Bhagavatam for Vyasadeva. So we know the context. So Vyasadeva is totally dejected, despondent, dissatisfied, because even after compiling so many Vedic literatures, he is not happy. He is not satisfied his heart. And he was contemplating what went wrong. Then he understood by the will of the providence that it's all because that he has not sufficiently glorified the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His Guna, Rupa, Leela, Nam. He has not glorified. So that is the reason. At the same time, Narada Maharshi happened to pass through that way. So he also confirmed the same thing, that you have compiled so many things about Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. But what about the glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is beyond Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, which is Paramartha, that is Panchama Purushartha. What is Panchama Purushartha means? What is Panchama Purushartha? Purushartha you all know, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, right? That is Purushartha. What is Panchama Purushartha? Prema Pumartho Mahan. Krishna Prema. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that it is Krishna Prema is the Panchama Purushartha. That is beyond the three modes of material nature. It is not influenced with any modes of material nature. So the three modes of material nature, sattva, rajas, tamas, okay, that will keep us within this material world. If you transcend the three modes, that will take us beyond this material existence. That will take us to the spiritual world, the Goloka Vrindavan, Vaikunta Dham. Okay, so one has to practice Krishna conscious activities, Krishna consciousness, spiritual activities in the mode of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattvic stage. So one should transcend the three modes of material nature. So that's what here Vyasadeva is being instructed by Narada Muni, that instead of making more comfort in this material world from dharma to moksha, you should compile that literature that will facilitate every human being to transcend the three modes of material nature and attain the perfection of life. The perfection of life is to attain Krishna Prema. That is the perfection of life. So most of us think that perfection of life is liberation from this material world. So actually liberation is only beginning. Okay. So the pure devotional service starts from the time we liberate from this material existence. From the time we totally surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead's will, that time the pure devotional service begins. Just like we take initiation from the Diksha Guru, spiritual masters, to get connected to the Sampradaya. So initiation means just we have initiated, started only. So one should not mistake, oh, I have now taken initiation, I have become perfect. No, it is just a beginning. Just like we, get admission in the kindergarten, that's it. We have to go a long way. Once we get initiated from a spiritual master who comes in the bona fide sampradaya, we are taking some vows, that do's and don'ts, rules and regulations that we are going to follow. For regulatory principles, minimum chanting of 16 rounds, and simple living, high thinking, all sort of things. So then we practice slowly and gradually. We have to come out of the attachment from these material allurements. You have to come out of the material allurements. Without that, it's not possible. Right? So this is what Vyasadeva is being instructed by Narada Maharishi. So let's start from the text 1. Sudavacha atatam sukhamasina upasinam brahsrava devarshi praha viprasim vina panis smayan iva. Sudavacha atatam sukhamasina upasinam brahsrava devarshi praha viprasim vina panis smayan iva. Okay, Siri Mataji. You are there, Mataji? Okay, Vandana Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Sutta uvacha अथ तं सुखमासीन उपासीनं बृहच्छवा देवर्षि प्रहविप्रसीं वेळापाळिस्मन् इस्मयन्यव.
Mayuri Mataji.
Sutavaja. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yes, Mataji. Can't hear you.
Hare Krishna. Shall I proceed?
Yeah, please.
Sutovacha atatam sukhamasina upasinam brahachava devarshi praha viprashi vina pani ismanyava.
Siri Mataji, can you?
Hare Krishna. Sutavacha atatam sukham asina upasinam व्रजवा देवर्षिप्राह विप्रशिं वीणा पाणि स्मयन् इव. Hare Krishna.
Translation. Siddha Goswami said, thus the sage amongst the gods, Narada. Sage amongst the gods, Narada. Narada, Rishi. Narada, Rishi. Narada, Muni. Comfortably seated and apparently smiling, addressed the Rishi amongst the Brahmanas, Veda Vyasa. He is so Brahmarshi. Yeah? So Vyasadeva is Brahmarshi. So how did he address him? Narada was smiling because he well knew the great sage Vyasadeva, Veda Vyasa, and the cause of his disappointment. As he will explain gradually, Vyasadeva's disappointment was due to insufficiency in presenting the signs of devoted service. Narada knew the defect and it was confirmed by the position of Vyasa. So Narada Maharshi very well knew that the disappointment of Vyasadeva is because he has not adequately or sufficiently glorified the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the pure devotional service. That was the reason that he got dejected. He was dissatisfied at his heart. He knew it very well. So that's why, it was smiling. So in that smile, it's clear, even Vyasadeva could understand why he's smiling. So that lot of meaning, behind his smiling. So, and it was confirmed by the status of Vyasa, the way he was situated, dejected. Narada Vacha Parasarya Mahabhaga Bhavata Kachidatmana Paritushyanti Sharira Atma Manasa Evava. Narada Vacham Parasarya Mahabhaga Bhavata Kachidatmana Paritushyati Sharira Atma Manasa Evava. Mayuri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
नारद उवाच पाराशर्य महाभाग भवता कच्चिदात्मना परितुष्यति शारीर आत्मा मानस एव वा.
Okay. Vandana Mataji.
पाराशर्य महाभाग भवता कच्चिदात्मना परितुष्यति शारीर आत्मा मानस एव वा.
Sini Mataji.
नारद उवाच पराशर्य महाभाग भवता कच्चिदात्मना परितुष्यति शारीर आत्ममानस एव वा. हरे कृष्ण.
Hari Bol. Addressing Vyasadeva, the son of Parasara. That is why here is mentioned Parasharya Mahabhaga, the great son of Parasara Muni. After addressing Vyasadeva, the son of Parasara, Narada inquired, are you satisfied by identifying with the body or the mind as objects of self-realization? Asking Vyasadeva, Narada Maharshi, are you satisfied simply by addressing the needs of the body and the mind? And is it called self-realization? Is it the objects of self-realization? So he was addressing throughout the Vedic literatures about Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, which is more or less facility to improve our material life. How? By following the Dharma, we can make Artha. And how? By using the Artha, we can use the same thing for sense gratification. And once we are tired of sense gratification, when we are totally, fed up in sense gratificatory activities, then we'll try for mukti. So this is about body, mind. This process is just to satisfy the body and mind. What about the soul, the self? You're not given any importance for that. You are not given importance to the super soul, Bhagavan. You have not given any importance to reconnect the soul with the super soul. You just given or your focus on these 4 items, which will bind every living entity in this material world. So that's why Narada is asking Vyasdeva, are you satisfied by identifying with the body or mind as objects of self-realization? This was a hint by Narada to Vyasadeva regarding the cause of his despondency. Vyasadeva, as the descendant of Parasara, a greatly powerful sage, had the privilege of having a great parentage. We should not have given Vyasadeva cause for despondency. So he is from a very famous Kula. He is from a very famous family background. His father is very famous. He is a great Vedic exponent, O Parasara. So, being the son of that great sage, how is that you are undergoing this despondency? Taking birth in a very famous family, whose father is a great exponent of Vedic literature. So it is not good that the son is getting dissatisfied. It should not happen. So that is what Narada is asking here. We should not have given Vyasadeva cause of despondency. Being a great son of a great father, he should not have identified the self with the body or the mind. Because Parasara is a great Vaishnava devotee, Vedic exponent. So Vyasadeva, the son of Parasara, should also be in the same line. So how is that you are dejected? How is that you are identifying the body and mind as self-realization? Ordinary men with a poor fund of knowledge can identify the body as self or the mind as self. But Vyasadeva should not have done so. So it is a case of ordinary people like us. Okay, because we don't have much qualification in our knowledge. So we may we may misidentify the self with the body and the mind. But you are a great soul. Your father is a great soul. How come, you have become like that? This is a question. One cannot be cheerful by nature unless one is factually seated in self-realization, which is transcendental to the material body and the mind. Jitnyasidam susampannam apite mahadadbhudam kritavan bharadam yastvam sarvartha paribhrimmidam. Jitnyasidam susampannam apite mahadadbhudam kritavan bharadam yastvam sarvartha paribhrimmidam. Mayuri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Jigyasitam susampannam apite mahat adbhutam kratavan bharatam yastvam sarvartha paribrahitam.
Sri Mataji.
जिज्ञासितं सुसम्पन्नम् अपि ते महदद्भुतं कृतवान् भारतं यस्त्वं सर्वार्थपरिबृंहितम्.
Mandana Mataji.
Little, can you make it down to just
One.
हाँ. जिज्ञासितं सुसम्पन्नमपि ते महदद्भुतं कृतवान् भारतं यशस्तं सर्वार्थपरिब्रह्मितम्. Translation also, Prabhu?
It's okay. Your inquiries were full and your studies were also well fulfilled. And there is no doubt that you have prepared a great and wonderful work, Mahabharata, which is full of all kinds of Vedic sequences, elaborately explained. So Narada is firstly glorifying him also, Vyasdeva. Your inquiries were full and your studies were also well fulfilled. There is no doubt that you have prepared a great and wonderful work. Mahabharata is a wonderful work. It is meant for people like us to elevate us from one level to other. Okay, so it's all wonderful and very nicely explained. So Narada is glorifying the work of Vyasadeva, but at the same time, some inadequacies, some deficiencies, which he is trying to point out for his dissatisfaction. The despondency of Vyasadeva was certainly not due to his lack of sufficient knowledge, because as a student, he had fully inquired about the Vedic literatures, as a result of which Mahabharata is compiled with full explanation of the Vedas. So it is not because of sufficient knowledge, lack of sufficient knowledge. He has inquired everything and he has very nicely explained Mahabharata also. That's what Narada Maharshi is explaining here. Jitnyasidam adhitam cha brahmayat sanatanam tathapi sochachatmanam agradartha iva prabho. Jitnyasidam adhitam cha brahmayat sanatanam tathapi sochachatmanam agradartha iva prabho. Mayuri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. जिज्ञासितम् अधीतं च ब्रह्म यत्त सनातनं तथापि शौचस्य मानं कृतार्थ एव प्रभो.
Okay, Vandana Mataji.
जिज्ञासित जिज्ञासितं धीतं च ब्रह्म यत्तत् सनातनं तथापि शोचस्यात्मानं कृतार्थ इव प्रभो.
Yes, Sini Mataji.
जिज्ञासितम् अतीतं च ब्रह्मवत्तत् सनातनं तथापि शोचस्यात्मानम् अकृतार्था इव प्रभो.
Very good. You have fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman as well as knowledge derived therefrom. Why should you be despondent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu? Narada Maharshi is addressing Vyasadeva, Prabhu, my dear sir. Okay. You have fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman. So, Mukti is impersonal realization. He has given importance or he has given focus only on these 4 items. The final is Mukti. So that leads to impersonal realization. So you have given or you have explained everything that. And the knowledge regarding the Mukti. But in spite of that, why you are despondent? Thinking that you are incomplete, undone. Okay, I am not completed. Something is wrong. Something is lacking. So he's asking, my dear Prabhu, my dear sir, why you are still thinking that you are undone? So the Vedanta Sutra or Brahma Sutra compiled by Sri Vyasadeva is the full deliberation of the impersonal absolute feature. And it is accepted as the most exalted philosophical exposition in the world. It covers the subject of eternity and the methods are scholarly. So there cannot be any doubt about the transcendent scholarship of Vyasadeva. So why should he lament? It's a question. The Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra, is compiled by Vyasadeva, is full deliberation of the impersonal. So it is, the concentration, the focus is on the impersonal feature of the absolute truth, which is in fact, as we all know, from the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is incomplete. That is not the complete picture of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Complete picture of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Bhagwan aspect. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagwan iti Sadvyade. So, but most of the people are thinking that, ultimate goal is to get the mukti, impersonal realization. But that is not it. That's what Bhagavatam says here. So that is treated as or accepted as the exalted philosophical exposition of the world. It covers the subject of eternity Hmm? So, see, just read this carefully. It covers the subject of eternity, and the methods are scholarly. So, what do you understand from this? Hmm? It covers the subject of eternity. What do you understand?
Is one aspect of the Lord.
Yes, only one aspect. The impersonal realization is only just incomplete. It is only one aspect. Only one aspect. That is that eternity, Sat. So what about Chit and Ananda? It's not there, isn't it? So Brahman realization is mainly covered. The rest he must have just touched upon here and there. But mainly he has covered the eternity part of it. Sat. That is Brahman. Paramatma and Bhagwan realization is not covered. So it is incomplete. So there cannot be any doubt about the transcendental scholarship of Vyasadeva. So why should he lament? Again, Narada Maharshi is asking, that you have the knowledge and you have covered this subject matter of eternity and you are very scholarly also. But still, why are you lamenting? This is the question.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I can't listen. Actually, my net was not working. It covered the subject of eternity and the method are scholarly. Can you explain again?
Yeah. It said that you have only covered the first aspect. There are three aspects in self-realization. That is understanding the philosophy of Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Sat is eternity, Chit means knowledge, Ananda means bliss. So here, Vyasadeva has given importance only for the first aspect, that is eternity. So what about the other two? He has not. But still, he has presented it in a very scholastic way. I appreciate that, but in spite of that, why are you lamenting? That's a question raised by Narada Maharshi. Now, let's see in the next verse. व्यासोवाच अस्त्येव मे सर्वम् इदं त्वयोक्तं तथापि नात्मा परितुष्यते मे तन्मूलमव्यक्तमगाधबोधं गच्छामहे त्वात्मभवात्मभूतं व्यास उवाच अस्त्य एव मे सर्वमिदं त्वयोक्तं तथापि नात्मा परितुष्यते मे तन्मूलमव्यक्तमगाधबोधं गच्छामहे त्वात्मभवात्मभूतम्. Okay, Sini Mataji.
अस्त्य एव मे सर्वम् इदं त्वयोक्तं तथापि नात्मा परितुष्यते मे तन्मूलम् अव्यक्तम् अगाधबोधं पृच्छामहे त्वात्मा भवात्मभूतम्.
Mayuri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
अस्त्येव मे सर्वमिदं त्योक्तं तथापि नात्मा परितुष्यते मे तन्मूलम् अव्यक्तमगाधबोधं प्रक्षामहे त्वात्मभवात्मभूतम्.
Okay, Vandana Mataji.
व्यास उवाच असत्येव मे सर्वमिदं त्वयोक्तं तथापि नात्मा परितुष्यते मे तन्मूलम् अव्यक्तमगाधबोधं गच्छामहे त्वात्मभावात्मभूतम्.
Hari Bol. Sri Vyasadeva said, all you have said about me is perfectly correct. Now, Vyasadeva is replying to Narada. He's telling Narada Maharshi that all you have said about me is perfectly correct. Despite all this, I am not pacified. I therefore question you about the root cause of my dissatisfaction. So you want to confirm. He knows the root cause, but still he wants to confirm from an higher authority. Is that the reason? Because I'm dissatisfied. So please tell me. Please let me know why I'm dissatisfied. For you are a man of unlimited knowledge, due to your being the offspring of one, that is Brahma, who is self-born without mundane father and mother. So for you are a man of unlimited knowledge. Okay, whom? About whom? Narada Maharshi. So Vyasadeva is telling you are a man of unlimited knowledge. Why? Due to your being the offspring of one who is self-born. Who is self-born?
Brahma.
Brahma. Why is he called self-born? Without mundane father and mother like us. He doesn't have a father and mother like us. He is not having any biological father and mother. He is self-born from where? From the navel, from the lotus that is sprouted from the navel of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. For Brahma, the father, mother, all are Vishnu, unlike us. So the Manushya, Mano Rashi, has come from whom? The Mano Rashi, the Manushya has come from whom?
Brahma.
Yes, Mataji?
Brahma.
No, the
Garbhodaka.
biological process of getting children has come from whom?
Manu. No.
No, I can't hear you.
Manu.
Manu, yes, Manu. From Manu comes Manushya, Manava, man. Right? So till then, it's all different process, not between the union of man and women. Till then. Till Manu, it was Manasaputra. Narada is Manasaputra. Narada doesn't have a mother. His mother is Brahma only, father is Brahma only. Some deliberation of different limbs. All the 10 sages were born from Brahma. So only after Manu, the real union of male and female, then comes Manushya. That's why we are all known as descendants as Manu is known as Manushya, Manava. From the same word comes man in English also. So for you are a man of unlimited knowledge, because you are the son of the first living being, that is Brahma, you have unlimited knowledge because of your father who is unborn, or who is self-born without mundane father and mother. In the material world, everything is engrossed with the idea of identifying the body or the mind with the self. So most of us mistake, ourselves to be the body or the mind. We don't consider the real self as soul. As such, all knowledge disseminated in the material world is related either with the body or with the mind. And that is the root cause of all despondency. Even now, although we know that we are not the body, we are not the mind, we are not the brain, we are not the hand, no, we are not the head. We know that theoretically, but we have not grown to that level in our consciousness. We still are in bodily conception of life. Theoretically, we may know that I am not the body, I am the soul. That is only on theory level. But practical level, we have not reached that platform. That's why we are always despondent. That's why we are always in distressed condition. Something happens to our body, something happens to our extensions of the body. We are so much worried. We are so much in distress. Okay. When something happens good, we are very happy. When something goes wrong, then we are unhappy. Why? Still, we are on the bodily platform. So one has to rise from this bodily platform, not to mental platform, not to the intellectual platform, to the soul platform. So that is the root cause of all despondencies. That's what Narada Maharshi is telling. So this is not always detected, even though one may be a great erudite scholar in materialistic knowledge. So even scholarly people, have not risen from this bodily platform to the soul platform. We may talk, we may discuss, we may speak so many things. We are on the body, we are the soul, this, then that, but we are not on that platform. We are not on the level of that understanding. So this is not always detected, even though one may be the greatest erudite scholar in materialistic knowledge. It is good, therefore, to approach a personality like Narada to solve the root cause of all despondencies. Why Narada should be approached is explained below. Okay, so when we are in some confused stage, what is right, what is wrong, what is the right knowledge, we should approach a spiritual master. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevayal upadekshandi te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So that is what exactly Vyasadeva did. He questioned, he submissively inquired from his spiritual master Narada, in spite of compiling all these things, in spite of doing all this work, why I'm dejected, why I'm despondent. So this is a real way of approaching a spiritual master. We are also not having complete knowledge. We have lots of confusion. We have lots of questions. So from this, we have to understand, the lesson that we have to learn is when we are in such a state of mind, confused state of mind, we should approach a spiritual master who comes in a bona fide disciplined succession. So why Narada should be approached is explained below. Let's see, what is it? Savai Bhavan Veda Samasta Guhyam Upasido Yat Purusha Puranam Paravaresho Manasaiva Bishwam Srajadi Avadi Ati Gunair Asangam Savai Bhavan Veda Samasta Guhyam Upasido Yat Purusha Puranam Paravaresho Manasaiva Bishwam Srajati Avatyati Gunair Asangam. Yes, Sinimadaji.
स वै भवान् वेद समस्तगुह्यम् उपासितो यत्पुरुष पुराणः परावरेशो मनसैव विश्वं सृजत्य अवत्यत्ति गुणैर् असङ्गः.
Okay. Mayuri Mataji and Vandana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. सा वै भवान् वेद समस्त गुह्यम् उपासितो यत् पुरुषा पुराणः परावरेशो मनसैव विश्वं सृजत्यवत्यत्ति गुणैरसङ्गा.
Yes.
Yes. सवे भवान् वेद समस्त गुह्य मुपासितो यत्पुरुषः पुराणा परावरेशो मनसैव विश्वं सृजत्यवत्यत्ति गुणैरसङ्गा.
Okay, Haribol. My Lord, everything that is mysterious is known to you because you worship the creator and destroyer of the material world and the maintainer of the spiritual world, the original personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to the three modes of material nature. My Lord, everything that is mysterious is known to you because you worship. Who is telling this? Vyasadeva, right? My Lord, everything that is mysterious is known to you because you worship the creator and the destroyer of the material world and the main of the spirit. With that, Krishna, Sri Krishna, you are worshipping that Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all that is to be known is known to you. And you are transcendental to the three modes of material nature. You are not influenced by the three modes of material nature. So a person who is 100% engaged in the service of the Lord is the emblem of all knowledge. So a devotee only will know perfectly well what is what. Only a devotee, a pure devotee. Such a devotee of the Lord is in full protection of devote service, full perfection of devote service is also perfect by the qualifications of the personality of Godhead. As such, the eightfold perfections of mystic power, Ashtasiddhi, constitute very little of his godly opulence. A devotee like Narada can act wonderfully by spiritual perfection, which every individual is trying to attain. Srila Narada, 100% perfect living being, although not equal to the personality of Godhead. So yes, Vyasadeva is glorifying Narada Maharshi as a perfect devotee. So since he is doing pure devotional service, even he is above the Ashtanga yogis, Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, these are all compared to Bhakti Yoga inferior. Bhakti Yoga is the culmination of all other yogas. Okay, Bhakti Yoga has all other yogas like Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. So here, Narada Maharshi is a pure devotee of the Lord, and he has all the knowledge that is required and is spiritually perfect. This is what a devotee wants to attain, similar to the line of Narada Maharshi. We have to be a pure devotee. So we should Mahajana Ena Katha Sapanta. We should follow in the footsteps of Mahajanas. Narada Maharshi is a Mahajana, isn't it? So we want to perfect our lives like Narada. So Narada can act wonderfully by spiritual perfection, which every individual is trying to attain. So that should be our motto. We should be a devotee like Narada. So we should follow in the footsteps of people like Narada. They're all great personalities, Mahajanas, 12 Mahajanas. Srila Narada Maharshi is one of them. Srila Narada is 100% perfect living being, although not equal to the personality of Godhead. So he is 100% perfect, but he is not equal to the Supreme Lord. So that's what here in the purport Prabhupada explains. Okay, so text 7, please note down. Next week. So 5-7, right? Vancha kalpatarubhesha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, गो प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल।